Thing with humans sitting in the back, a couple of the guys. So it looks like Ryan and Patrick are there. So we're going to let them in, and here we go. Gentlemen, how are you?
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you guys?
Doing great, man. Doing really good.
Eh,
What's up, Pat?
But Patrick, we can't hear you.
All I'm seeing is.
Yeah, we got no audio from you, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we got you, brother.
Yeah,
Yep.
we got you.
It's inevitable with a live program like this one.
Yeah, it happens.
Someone's
It's an internet
it
show.
happens all the time. So please don't worry about it. Happens constantly.
So Patrick, if you look down on your screen, you'll see where your microphone is in the middle of the screen. Click the little up button and make sure that it's capturing your microphone and not something else. Or
it took me like 10 minutes to get connected to the broadcast tonight. I had a mess with the settings in my laptop. I had a mess with the settings for this. I had to unplug my mic. I was going crazy.
So I don't know how I sound, but this is why I keep it super simple. I just up the phone. You know what I mean?
Right. It's the easiest.
Now, Ryan, if you turn that phone horizontally, you'll fill up the whole screen.
Okay.
Let's see if that works. I think it works.
You hear me now?
We can hear him.
Let's see here.
Turn
Turn off
speakers. I don't. Can you hear me?
Yep, we got you now.
Yeah,
we got you now. There you go.
There we go.
Cool, man. Sorry about that.
Oh, look at that. We got it.
I was just on a before this one, and we're gonna jump on one right after that.
Is he upside down on anyone else's screen?
Busy night for you guys.
Yeah, it is. Yes. What's up, my brother?
I will tell you this. This is the first time that I heard about Anything But Human was when Jack Schrader with Fresh Baked Teas told me about you guys. And I guess he does a lot of your merch and stuff like that.
He does. Yeah. Really good guy, man.
Yeah, no, he's great. He actually did a lot of our merch at the very beginning and everything. So good times. But let's start off from the beginning. Tell us about Anything But Human. Tell us where you guys are from, how you found each other, where the name comes from, all that kind of juicy, good, basic bullshit info.
Well, so I started the band back in 2019 or 2018. It started off as like a solo project, and basically ended up meeting Joel through a friend, our drummer. And then we had a bass player at the time, didn't quite work out. We ended up getting a new bass player, which is Phil, our current bass player. And it's been amazing, man. We signed a record deal with Curtain Call Records, and which is the independent label.
Yeah.
And we toured all over the country. We got to tour Mexico with John Corabi, formerly of Motley Crue.
Yep.
Chance to open for Bon Jovi back a couple of years ago, which our single that's coming out Friday is a story connected with that. But it's been an amazing ride, man. Like I said, we've had a chance to tour all over the country and open for some really, really great, bands that we look up to. And then along the way, through Curtain Call Records, we met Pat, and he loved the band. He joined up. He's an amazing guitar player and most importantly, an amazing guy. And he's our lead guitar player. So I don't know. When did we meet you, Pat? Like 2020 or?
Yeah. Well, I think we met in the kind of like a pandemic kind of era when we got connected when we worked on one of their songs, "Move On." That's kind of how we connected. And we kept the relationship going, and one thing led to another, and we got into the studio and recorded more songs, and then more songs, and then the next thing you know it, I flew down to Texas to meet the guys. I think the first show we did was it Bike Week, Daytona Bike? Was that?
It was actually. So we rehearsed and we ended up playing in Florida Bike Week, Daytona Bike Week. That was the first show,
and then. Tesla, Collective Soul, and it's been on and up. We did Bandera. We started this year. We started really doing dates, and setting up this record for 2025 and 2024. So yeah, we're stacking it pretty well for next year, and I'm excited to play with the guys. Great bunch of guys, great band, and we're ready to give it a kick in 2025.
So did you, if I remember right, going through everything, you guys just did a little run with Shim as well, right? With Shim and Shallow Side.
That's correct.
How was that?
It's great.
It's good, man. We had like a dual band thing going on. So Joel and Pat were playing with Shim on on the whole tour actually, and then Anything But Human opened for Shim. So it was like those two guys had a lot to do that night each night.
A long night, but a great night. He's coming in from Australia, and it just worked out to where we backed him up, and it was a good run. It was a good run. It was really good for the band. It was good for everybody.
Well, I know watching Shim's stories and everything, y'all were having a blast out there on the road.
Oh yeah, it was great.
Even with the debacle in Houma, Louisiana.
Yeah. We're fortunately super blessed, man. So Joel, our drummer, invested in a really nice tour bus. So we fortunately have had the opportunity to skip the whole, living out of a van thing from hotel to hotel. And we go in a tour bus, we live out of the thing. And it's always an amazing time. Every time we get a chance to do some tour dates, it's always a blast. Always. So
let me ask you that. What I'm always curious right now. So you talk about the bus and everything. What the hell is gas cost on something like that?
Man, it's brutal. It's so brutal. I don't know. I mean, to fill the thing up, it might be like $500. Yeah.
God.
It's rough. But, then there's not 5 hotel rooms, and if you really weigh it out and you're on a run, and I've done van runs, I've done them all.
Oh no, I get all that. You save a lot of costs as far as living and stuff like that, and all of that. I was just curious because I see these. I drive I-10 every day for a couple hours, and I see these buses, and I'm always curious. How much does that fucking cost?
It's expensive, especially when you're carrying, gear, and we carry a lot of gear, and it's costly. Well, hopefully
that was if you come to the show, buy a T-shirt. You know what I mean? It's gonna.
It goes a long way.
That was a great question, because there's literally some YouTube videos that I watched from some active tour managers that break that shit down to how much a bus costs per day for a driver, for the bus itself, for the gas costs, for all this stuff. And you add it up, and people I didn't even have a complete clue. I mean, I kind of knew, but when you start seeing real dollars and cents to put on a tour package like that, and like you said, come buy a shirt. I mean, literally, man, that's why it's so important to support bands when you go live, to buy their merch. If you dig their music, I mean, hell, even if you don't dig their music, help them keep playing, right? That's the only way. That's the only way they're making real dollars for something that they're selling, right?
And it's a struggle, and it's one thing I love about you guys. I've noticed y'all support a lot of up and coming bands, and it's always great to see. You know what I mean? So.
We buy a lot of merch.
Yeah, you guys are killing it. Yeah.
We buy a lot of merch, man. Okay, my whole closet's full of black T-shirts, band T-shirts. That's all I own. I think I have one blouse, in case I have to go somewhere fancy. Other than that, it's all about the merch.
I love it.
So before we talk about what's coming out Friday, we released a song called "All Alone" about what was it, 2 or 3 months ago? We were working
with Shim when we released it. It was October 10th or something. I can't remember.
So that's been cooking at, it's been simmering at radio, and really focusing on getting it added on a lot of playlists, and it's been doing really well, which is leading us to this single here, and setting us up for the first of the year to really go out kicking and screaming with a couple singles, and then we're going to drop another one in spring.
Well, let's not go any further than that, because you did the intro yourself. I do have the video to play.
Right on, man.
So we're gonna play Anything But Human right now. Then we'll come back and chat with them about what's to come in 2025 and their new single. So here it is, and you're watching The Sound. I love it.
Cool, man.
So tell us a little bit about the song.
You go, Pat.
Go ahead, Ryan.
Okay.
We both have the same thing in heart. I'll give you my perspective on it. And, the song is written about, someone, either a relationship or a loved one that you never got to say all the things you really wanted to say until it was too late. So that's kind of the premise for the song. But we left it open so everybody can make it their own. But that's the tone behind it, and you can pick it up from here, Ryan.
Yeah, man. I think for me personally, I think the song is ultimately about loss and dealing with that. And it, for me, so Pat is the original writer of the song, and then he gave it to us, and we worked on it together as a group in the studio. But for me, the song. So I went through a divorce a couple of years ago, and it really it resonated with me on that kind of vibe and dealing with that. And so we went to the studio and we just recorded it, and it felt so natural. And I think that came across in the recording when it came time to release a single. So yeah, but I would definitely say that it's the idea is dealing with loss and coping with that, and dealing, like he said, dealing with the feelings of not feeling like you quite said everything you were supposed to say, or the things you didn't have a chance to say, you know what I mean? And so, yeah, so when Pat showed me the song, I immediately thought of the things that I went through in my own life, talking about a divorce, a breakup. And then from his perspective, I think he originally came at it, he was dealing with a death in his family. So yeah, definitely, like I said, it deals with loss and coping with that loss.
Yeah.
So.
And when we brought the song together, when we did it in the studio, I felt like something magical happened. Well, it was definitely evident. It was pretty clear cut. That's I think the song's pretty powerful. We're all really excited about it. So it really set the tone for this new record. And there's a lot of hills and valleys, and we're gonna take you guys on a ride, and we hope that you get on the Anything But Human train, man.
Well, to Will Turpin of Collective Soul. So opened for Collective Soul a few months ago, and he dug the band. But we had a chance to record with him in his studio in Atlanta, or was it Atlanta or somewhere?
Yeah, Atlanta. Yeah, you recorded Real to Real, and in Atlanta, and he and Will Turpin, from the bass player from Collective Soul, he produced that track.
Yep.
And they crushed it, man. Great recording, great mix.
Absolutely.
For sure.
I love how clean it is. But you talk about getting on the Anything But Human train. You guys have a good team working for you guys, or working with you guys. So Bob Hathaway, and then Maria at FM Music Management and all that kind of stuff. How is it to work with that kind of team?
Incredible, man. It's like I said earlier, I think from the get-go, this band has we've been really blessed and lucky, you know what I mean, to work with some amazing people. That's really made this thing, go up a lot quicker than any of us expected to. So it's amazing.
The good band and good songs also helps too.
Absolutely.
Doing your homework and being prepared, and there's a lot of effort that goes behind the scenes before you hit the stage. A lot of it, and the one thing that really attracted me to the relationship with these guys is, I've had a history myself, and I like to work with people who like to work, because you got to really work to get where you need to be. And the focus is big, and the aim is big, and the work ethic has to follow up with it. So that's the thing that's charming about this band, and people are connecting to it for a reason. And I feel that's one of the reasons. I mean, the song first, the song rides the train, but then the live show and the great band, puts it over the top. And, that's how I feel about these guys, and, glad to be a part of it. But I think we're just scratching tipping the iceberg of what's about to go down here with, in the next few years. So,
Well,
I
let's go ahead and talk about next year. So we're wrapping up 2024. You guys are getting ready to drop a new single, which I think or I thought was weird that you do it in December.
Yeah.
But then I was like, well, that might be smart because nobody else is.
Right.
Right.
So
Right.
well, I mean, all the Christmas playlists are out right now. We wanted to just get the song, through discussions with management, get it out there now to set it up for January, and just kind of get some traction on it. So we're going to be working both, the next song, and you can tell them what it is. I mean, if you already know, it's coming out this Friday, but that's going to set the tone for working the next tours. When we're working on some tours, and hopefully by the end of January we'll be able to announce them. So we'll have kind of a left right punch ready to go, working all alone into the new single, which we're building right now. That's the game plan.
to tell us a little bit about the new single.
Go ahead, tell them, Ryan.
Yeah, so the single is coming out Friday. It's called Back on My Knees. And like I said, previously we had a chance to open for Bon Jovi, and it was an amazing experience. We ended up meeting a guy in the Bon Jovi camp. His name's Obi O'Brien. He really dug the band, and he was like, you guys should come out to my studio and we'll work on some stuff. So last year, over the summer, we went out to his studio in Pennsylvania and recorded a whole record. And so this song that's coming out this Friday is one of those songs. So I'm really stoked about it. Like I said, it's been about a year since we recorded the material. We were just waiting on the best time to put it out, and I feel like about now is a really good time to put it out. And like he was saying, we're trying to promote some shows that's coming up next year and get some stuff going. So I'm really excited about it. Like when you have tracks that you've been kind of sitting on for about a year, just like, God, I just want to get it out. You know what I mean? Really stoked. And it's got, in my opinion, a little bit more of a retro vibe to it, almost like a classic rock vibe-ish to it. So it's different than anything we've ever put out or recorded or worked on. So in that aspect, artistically, I'm excited about it. So.
Yeah, and I'm going to chime in on that real quick. But what's cool about, we're taking a lot of chances with this record, and I like that. I like that we're kind of going over hills and valleys of different genres, and that's cool that we're that this record has that. I think it's really important. I mean, man, everybody's collaborating and crossing over these days, from country to pop to rock to rap. I mean, it's happened. It's not like it's something new, but this record has a good amount of that, and I think that's really going to show a lot of versatility. Yeah, man. Yeah. So the song's called Back on My Knees. It drops this Friday, and yeah, man. And hopefully we can come back on the show in January sometime and be able to announce a tour, and that's where we're at with that.
We always love to have guests come back. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I got a question real quick, kind of going off of what you guys have been saying so far. You've mentioned a few things like new music's coming out. Kevin brought up a good point about dropping a single in December, right? Like not a lot of other people are doing it. It made me think of strategy, especially in like 2024 going into 2025 music industry. We have a lot of people that watch the show that I would assume are, a lot are in bands, some are fans, and then some hopefully are like maybe some younger guys starting bands or want to be in bands or whatever that see this stuff. Can you tell us like your philosophy, big picture on like how to get your music out in today's, digital environment? We've talked to other bands about this before, but maybe, I like to hear everybody's perspective on it and their thought process on how to cut through the noise in, today's streaming environment with social media, Spotify, the whole nine.
Well, I mean, I'll just start off. There's a double-edged sword. So all this network that we have in front of us available is amazing, but yes, that creates a lot of traffic. So I really feel like I was talking about before. I really feel the bands have to really hone on their live performance and their songs. Really, really write some great songs, and really and I feel like great bands with great songs always finds a home. It starts there and it ends there. Okay, so then you have all the digital platforms, but when you got a hit single, it's just a matter of time. When you're, there's songs that take 2 or 3 listens to to say, okay, there it is. There's one song listens, but I feel like bands today have to really focus on songs. I mean, a lot of, and it's got to be the catalyst of what drives you there, because when you're singing a hit song and the band's kicking ass, it everything changes. It doesn't take long for people to figure it out. So
I like that.
My advice is get in the wood, get in the shed, and make your fingers bleed till you write hit songs. And then when you think you have hit songs, look at it and put it up to everything else that's out there and say, is my song compete with what's going out there? And that's really I'm a stickler for songwriting, because I feel like that's the vehicle that's going to take you there. Then the virtuosity comes over. You know what I mean? There's millions of amazing players and singers and musicians, but when they get together and that chemistry and they come up with this amazing music, I think that's what moves the needle for people. So that's what I recommend for young bands. Get your ass out there, throw your computer in the garbage for a minute, learn how to become a live band, kick ass live, because a lot of bands don't know how to play live. So that's one piece of advice. Write hit songs and then blast to social media and then do everything after that. So that's my opinion.
I wasn't expecting you to say that, but you're right. You hit it like at the core, at the fundamental level, right? Like write the song first. So what a great piece of advice.
The song will set you free.
It's all about the song, man. I was gonna add on to it and get a good management team. You know what I mean? Good management. If you can't find one, then you have to become the management yourself. You know what I mean? So it's a business first and foremost. So.
That's right.
Yeah. But it's about the song, man. It is 1,000%.
I mean, I'm a stickler with it. The song, the band, the vision that you want people to grab onto and make sure it's the best it can be. And you're going to grow along the way. New bands are going to grow. They're going to cut their teeth. Everybody's not going to hit it out of the park the first album or the first, it's a work in progress, but that's got to be the focus. A lot of young bands focus on everything else but what's important. All these algorithms, downloads, likes, it's all good. But when someone goes to see a live band and gets their fucking ass kicked from one side or the other,
that's
worth 1 billion streams.
That's
how I see it, man.
So they can have gas for their bus.
Right. To bring it around.
When I go see a band that kicks my ass, I'm like, man, that fucking band rocked, man. And then all of a sudden, I'm going to stop and pay attention and really listen to the band. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Not just to the song they're promoting. I'm going to dig deep. But if I'm not really that blown away, I'm passing. There
you go.
Because of the availability of music right now. So anyway, that's just my opinion.
Kids, listen up. I mean, that's solid advice.
And I wish that I had, as we're going through this, people to share that with new bands. And I think it's important that bands understand that, for the 23 hours when you're in a bus and you're flying and you're this and you're that and you're sound checking and you're waiting for that hour that you get on stage, it's got to mean something, So
beautifully said.
I totally agree with that, and I think it gets lost sometimes, and I think on the 26th we're doing a 2024 year in review, and I think the word of the word I hate the most in 2024 is algorithm.
Yeah,
absolutely hate it.
Well,
I don't think anybody's gotten it right. I've seen some that are really good at taking what you're listening to and kind of bulking in some other stuff, and it's cool because then you get to hear some stuff that you don't. But then there's some that's just so fucking out there. You miss half the shit you really want to hear or see.
Yeah. I mean, the technology is amazing, man. This is so great that that kids, young bands have this. You know what I mean? It's a really amazing way to get your music out there, and it's amazing. But a lot of bands skip a lot of steps because of technology. You know what I mean?
Because it's so easy,
right? Mm-hmm. So anyway, that's that. But that's he's looking at it.
Like you said, we definitely want to be a part of when y'all drop the new single or the next single, I should say. What month did you say?
It's coming in 2 days.
Friday.
No. The one after that when he said
Well, we
returning
don't have a
guest.
date yet. We're gonna once we nail down a tour and we're gonna work these 2 singles probably till spring and then drop a summer song. You know.
Okay. Yeah, I was just gonna say keep us in the loop though, for sure. Like we want to be a part
We
of
will
that.
be back, man, and maybe we can
Yeah.
come up, Ryan, where we're together and we can like I'm in New York, he's in Texas. So when we get together, we could even, do a little acoustic thing for you guys. And
So do y'all, you said New York and did you say Texas? I mean, do y'all, in talking about technology, do y'all get together to write or is this a technology over the internet deal?
well, this is technology until we get together. We usually meet up before we go on a run and we start working on stuff together. This
But
is-
writing wise, is
Yeah.
it?
Right, it's all technology. Absolutely.
There
right
you go.
now, technology.
1000.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Well,
that's good. That's not a bad thing. I'm not
good
saying
thing.
that. I'm just saying like
I'm
that's
not at any means knocking technology. It's amazing. I'm
right.
I'm
No,
and I'm telling you what they need to do.
yeah, no, I agree with that. It's just wild. Like all these bands that we talk to, a significant amount of them now do not live in the same town,
Yeah.
which at my age, just blows my mind about how I grew up and got into music. That's even what is a possibility now is crazy.
Right.
Dude. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I'm used to, going to band practice 5 times a week, which we have done that. But right now we're at that point where, Pat lives in New York. I live in Texas. The other guys live in Texas as well. And we just make it work as best as we can,
We come in we do a week of, we do our homework and then we get in like a week or so early. We do a week of rehearsals and then we hit the road.
And we
Yeah,
get
that's awesome.
each other all at once. You know?
Boom.
Yeah.
So if somebody's trying to locate anything but human, where's the easiest way to get in touch with you guys or to find everything that is all about anything but human?
abhband.com is the best place you can go to find out about us. Of course, we've got Spotify, we've got Apple Music, we've got Facebook, Instagram, but ABH Band is a good place. You'll find our bio there. You'll find all the links to all the music, the merchandise, abhband.com.
Thank you guys so much for having us on, and y'all have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And
Thank y'all.
And we look forward to speaking with you again, man.
Yes.
We just keep us posted, and we are there to help wherever we can for you guys. So
Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. It was great being on the show, and I wish you all the best, and can't wait to see you soon.
all right,
Kill it.
appreciate you
Y'all have a
guys.
good night. Yep.
Take care.
Have a good
one.
night.